I just hear Sky they just lighting fools on fire, dude.
What's up, guys? Skyless here with Gears of War Lessons, episode number 19, I think, maybe. I haven't done one in a while. Just want to give you guys a bit of an update. I'm going to have to change the format for the show. It used to take me like 8 hours of editing, in addition to 4 or 5 hours of gameplay, just getting clips for that specific topic. And I ended up spending an entire Saturday, part of a Sunday, putting together those videos. And I just don't have the time to do that anymore with the projects I'm doing and that kind of stuff. So I want to get more videos out. I'm trying, but it's going to be less editing like this video, which is I'm playing Rank King of the Hill on Blood Drive with Phobos, Arctic, and Quinn Del Hoyo from Epic Games. And we're playing, I'm playing with the intent of grabbing the Scorcher over and over and over. Because I don't get to use that often, and it recently got a buff, which I'll talk about here in a bit. And it's actually my favorite weapon in the game. You know, I actually really enjoy using it from a fun perspective, in the sense that it lights people on fire and you get to hear them scream over and over and over for 10 seconds because the game is ridiculous with the screams. So I've always enjoyed playing with it. I've been prone to grab it during ranked pretty often. I used to grab it on Old Town quite a bit. But the issue was it was just too weak, and the better the players were, the less fun it was to actually run around with the Scorcher. So it kind of became like a pub stomp type thing. I have grabbed it in one scrim, and I'll hold that as my my trophy game. I think it's uploaded somewhere on the Amazing MLG channel, but it was King of the Hill on trenches, and I was able to get 4 or 5 kills with it in a scrim, and that was pretty satisfying. The issue is that you can only really use it in King of the Hill because TDM people tend to post up a bit more. And unless you're going to do the same thing with the Scorcher, it isn't really that effective at pushing people that are camping. And then in execution, it's not really better than the Lancer or the shotgun. And I can say that pretty definitively, that the Scorcher is not better than whatever rifle you have in terms of versatility. And you don't want to risk dying in an execution round because you tried to Scorcher somebody and it didn't register. So again, I only really use it in King. If I was just running around pubs, I can use it in TDM and execution, but I won't be that effective. But I did get a buff now, and which might actually help that issue a little bit. It was about a month ago, which I think the buff happened, and they didn't really say anything about it. They just changed it and didn't say anything, and then people on the forums called them out on it, said, hey, the Scorcher's different because the ammo count's different. You start with 200 ammo, and now it's down to 136. And with it came a damage buff, so now it only takes 3 damage in order to kill him. Well, 3 ammo in order to kill him. So anytime you pull the trigger on the Scorcher, it fires 3 bullets, and all it takes is that shot to hit in order to get the down. So pretty crazy. You can actually down 45 people with 1 clip of Scorcher if you were a complete monster with it. But of course, it's not going to happen. I had issues, even when we were testing it, I knew the person was running in a straight line. Tracking with the Scorcher is very difficult. I'm not sure how much you have to lead it, or if it's even possible with the way the projectiles come out. It's all masked, because on the code end, I imagine it's just like little balls of flame or whatever coming out. And on your screen, obviously, it's a continual stream of fire. And it's hard to match those up and figure out what's going on with your damage. Especially when you start hip firing. Like, once you start hip firing, who knows where those shots are going? Like, I have no idea. So, I don't know. It's really difficult to aim. Before I used to L-trigger it a lot because I felt like the hip fire wasn't good enough in order to actually get the downs because it took so much damage. But now that it's gotten a buff, as you can see, this hip fire is pretty nasty. Since you're just trying to get the 3 shots, it really makes sense to just kind of spray them out there and fill the entire gap and just let them hit. Since you're going to be using the same amount of ammo as you were before, just now there's a higher chance of getting the down with the hip fire. And I think you're going to see a good example here. Like, there was the L trigger, and I should have gotten both down, but it didn't happen. I'm not sure what the qualifier is there as far as people actually dying. And instead, Phobos comes up and cleans them up. As you saw, I only did 6 damage to Demon Puppy. Just where it's really confusing. I did 60 damage to the other guy. So 6 and 60 to the 2 guys that were standing there. And I hit a pretty full stream of fire on them. So Again, the gun's just not consistent. That's the biggest issue. In a one-on-one scenario, a shotgun's going to beat you if they're posted up and have like hard L triggers. In a one-on-one scenario with a rifle, there's a good chance that they'll be out of range and you won't be able to do anything. How many weapons can do that? Just down 3 people in what, like 1 second? Just one long stream and 3 people went down? No other gun in the game can do that. You can't even argue like the shotgun can kill people that fast. It's just not possible with any other weapon, which is why Scorcher is pretty fun. But again, only King of the Hill are you really going to run into that scenario where there's 3 people with their back turned towards you in a room. And realistically, if I was using my active reload Lancer, I would have gotten all those downs as well. But they definitely would have rolled out and started moving a bit. But that's the big reason I like the Scorcher. It's fun to watch people drop immediately, especially since the buff. And when you're on the other end of it, the disorienting factor of the flames is actually pretty effective. But the better a player is, the better they are just firing through that and getting the down. Another issue I've had with the Scorcher is the travel time. Since the projectiles come out pretty slow, a lot of times you'll be firing and you'll get the down, but they'll get the down on you at the same time, or they'll get a chunk, since there's no way to chunk with the Scorcher, obviously. So you'll have the scenario where you have them down and you're dead. Or both of you are down and you have a Scorcher with like 6 ammo left in it, because it takes so much to get it down. So that's that. And I want to note that I hate this map for King. It's just horrendous. I hate it in Gao 2 for Annex because everyone just tags frags. If it wasn't for the frag tags, this might be an alright map. But I hate it so much. So much. And you're going to notice that we're going to lose the frag round solely because they tag frags all freaking map. All map. Just tagging them. It's just ridiculous. And then we got back onto the Incend round and won like 150 to 6, as we should.
Exactly.
So, another thing I want to talk about the Scorcher is playing in this kind of role where you're just going for the Scorcher over and over. There's only really 3 maps that support this. Well, 4, I guess. This map has it both rounds. Old Town has it both rounds. Old Town even has 2 Scorchers, which is nice because you can grab double ammo. And I do grab double ammo on that map over and over and over. And then you got Checkout has it every other round. Rustlung has it every other round. Not sure on the other ones. There might be a couple DLC maps that have it in there one round. But it got removed from Trenches, which was another map that I would grab it on. And when you're playing as dedicated Scorcher, you need to do lots of flanks. As you can see, this kind of scenario here isn't really a winning scenario because they can just hide behind the corner and you can't do anything. It'd be really cool if you could shoot at the ground or something and then like they couldn't sit on that corner and you could just walk out on them. But that doesn't really happen. Instead of you try and walk out on them, you have what happens to me there, where you just get L-triggered and down immediately. It's super frustrating. Can't really push up with the Scorcher if the guy sees you. So I play strictly as a flanking role. And I'll run to the action, but I'll try and get there from angles that my team isn't coming from in order to try and come behind them. So like earlier, when I got that triple down inside the nade room, I had seen that my team was all up on the steps, and I knew that they were in there holding the hill, so I just immediately went down the hallway, knowing that'd be a good way to go. Obviously, if someone's paying attention, you're just going to get stopped, and that's where another issue comes up. Again, how cool is that? 3 people down. And always burn the bodies. Always. Always burn the bodies. Always. So yeah, as you can see, it's 149 to 115. With the Scorcher in this scenario, there isn't really much you can do. So I post up in the hallway, but if they come through the doors, it's pretty difficult to hold that because there's a couple different angles they can come from. There's lots of cover. They can go behind pillars. The hallway is really the only area that you can put on lock. And then we were fortunate enough, obviously we had angles in the hill, so I was able to help the Scorcher, but this isn't really that effective compared to me using a shotgun or a Lancer. So when the game tightens up and slows down, the Scorcher quickly loses its effectiveness. So the faster the pace of the game, the more effective you'll be able to be with the Scorcher. And we ended up losing that round. I can't remember what happened. I think they came in from bottom and just quick capped it. But yeah, the more effective you'll be, well, the quicker the game is, the more effective you can be with the Scorcher. Old Town's really good for it, since there's so many different flanking paths, and you can kind of always stay on the opposite side of your team, and you can come behind the spawn points. So that's a video I've been wanting to do for a while, is the King of the Hill spawns. Especially on Old Town, it's real predictable. They'll spawn at the Torque and Snipe and the High Street quite a bit. So you can kind of come behind those a lot. So that's on my radar of things to do a video on. And I'm just going to round out. So situationally, I want to talk about a few clips. Let me see this one. Yeah, so in this scenario, Kale's coming behind him, and I was just kind of waiting for that and came up a bit too late. But as you can see, as long as you catch him by surprise, you can get it down super quick. But as soon as that guy saw me, had the Scorcher, and he posted behind the wall, there's pretty much nothing I could do until they just chase us down the hallway recklessly. But, you know, like, there's not much you can do with the Scorcher if someone posts up. So in that scenario, if I wanted to use just Scorcher, my only option was to just bail out. If I wanted to use Scorcher and shotgun, then I could have switched to my shotgun, but with the Scorcher being a power weapon, like, you have to go wait 30 more seconds for the Scorcher to come up. And it really isn't a power weapon. It's a slightly better, at times, than your default weapon. As you can see, that was the max range of the Scorcher pretty much right there. Just pretty damn far. That was active Scorcher shooting from the hallway all the way down to the door. And there I was trying to get the 3-bullet down as an example, but it's... I don't get how that doesn't hit, you know what I mean? It's mystifying to me. With the Scorcher, I do the same thing as I do with the Lancer, which you might have seen in my Lancer video. I'll fire one little puff in order to get a full clip of active. Active with the Scorcher is really good. It's a really, really long range boost. And it actually makes so you can compete with the crazy strong rifles and shotguns. And here's another scenario where I thought that one of those guys should have gone down. And apparently he pushed me, and I got another down. See how the hipfire was able to get the down there? I'm not sure I would have gotten the down with the L trigger. And there's an example of the travel time where I was talking about how it takes so long to get there that you'll get down before the actual down registers. So you almost have to take risks. You know, you kind of fire the shots, and then you're like, that guy's going to go down. I'm going to start running away now. But that's a hard call to make, especially when a server is slightly laggy, or if you aren't that sure of the Scorcher because you don't get to use it that often, which is obviously the case for just about everybody. And that's about it. I can't really think of anything else to talk about, so again, list of topics that I want to get in the future. I want to talk about King of the Hill, spawns, hills, probably player spawns more than hill spawns. I think Kale is planning on doing a video on hill spawns, so I might talk a bit about player spawns. And that's it. So if you guys have any suggestions for topics, please chime in. That's been another issue, is that I want to do these videos, but I haven't really had anything that I've been dying to talk about. So if you have anything to talk about, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'll be reading them and responding. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.